Welcome to our primo Mercoledì moment in the month of July. I am Father Richard Fragomeni, the director here, the rector of the Shrine of Our Lady of Pompeii. And with me today, as we celebrate this month of July, is our newest addition to our presiding schedule, Father Tom Hurley. Welcome, Tom, to the Shrine of Our Lady of Pompeii.
Thank you, Richard. I'm delighted to be here, and it's a great joy to be a part of this great community of the Shrine of Our Lady of Pompeii.
Yes, so tell us, how have you found your way here?
Well, I think really the way I found my way here was through a couple of different avenues, but mainly you. And what a beautiful gift of friendship that we've shared for many years. And prior to my coming here on Sundays, I was the pastor over at Old St. Patrick's, where I was for full-time for 18 years. Wow. And obviously you and I had a lot of interaction during those years. But I finished my assignment last March of 2021, and I took some personal time, took the year off, and during that time, I actually came here and I participated on Sundays in the pews.
You did, right over there.
I was experiencing life from the other side of the altar.
Right.
And so I did that for a year, 14 months, and then I discerned my way back into active ministry, and you were so gracious and kind to invite me to come to the shrine.
We are so honored that you are here, because now you're in a turn of some wonderful other presiders that we have. Father Tony Pizzo, who's the provincial of the Augustinian community and from this neighborhood, actually, and Father Michael Joseph, who's the Capuchin Vocations Director and was a former student of ours at Catholic Theological Union, and you, Father Tom Hurley. And of course me, I circle every 4 weeks as well, so that we keep this community full of fresh and wonderful preachers and wonderful presiders. So thank you for accepting this
Well, I'm honored to be among that turnout of presiders. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your confidence and your invitation.
Yeah, and right now you are ministering at Marist High School, I understand.
I am. So I'm full-time at Marist High School. It's my alma mater, and during my time of discernment, the president, who is a good friend and a colleague, Larry Tucker, invited me to come to Marist, and I originally came as the vice president for advancement and ministry, and I continue to do that while I also serve, I guess, in some ways as chaplain and in campus ministry. It's a wonderful co-ed Catholic high school on the south side of Chicago, and it was started by the Marist brothers back in 1963.
And you're an alumnus
I am.
of that
I'm
organization, and now so you've come back to enrich it with your gifts and talents and your priestly ministry.
I love it. I really enjoy it, and it's good to be in a place that is vibrant, that is forward-thinking, and students that have a lot of energy, and faculty and staff that love coming there each and every day. So it's really been a wonderful environment to be a part of.
Wonderful. And our Shrine community is familiar with Marist High School, and perhaps our listeners are unaware of this, but every year for probably 20 years or so, Dr. Manna, who is the music director?
Frank Manna?
Frank Manna, you remember him?
Oh, he's a legend.
Yeah, he would come with the Marist Band. So just for those of you who are listening, the Marist High School Band was part of this church celebration of Columbus Day for decades. Over the past couple years, because of COVID, there's been a bit of a hiatus. So I'm looking to see if the Marist Band would consider returning, and maybe you'd have some impact on that to see if they could come and be part of this gathering once more. And the thing was is that when Frank Manna used to bring them in, they would come in at the end of the Mass playing America the Beautiful, I think. And one year, actually, they played so vivaciously that the plaster started to fall from the ceiling. It was a great moment of remembrance, and hopefully that'll never happen again. But so you're working at a place that is connected in a real sense with the Shrine of Our Lady of Pompeii. So Tom, tell us a little bit more, Father Hurley, tell us a little bit more about what it was like or what you learned, what wisdom did you gain from that personal year, as you called it, that you took for yourself and for your ministry, for your soul?
I think one of the pieces that was happening, I think, in my own life, especially being in a place like Old St. Patrick's, was just how overwhelming this life that we live,
Yes.
that we share this vocation as priests, that it was just becoming overwhelming. And it was really necessary, I felt, internally, spiritually, emotionally, just to take some time and to really catch my breath. And so I felt it was in my best interest, I felt it was in the best interest of the people that I served, that I stepped back and with the help of trusted others in my life, they really guided me well. And so I think it was for my own health, it was for my own good. And I just have felt this sense of renewal. But I also felt in this time, this year off, was not only a time to take a break, but I also found myself, especially right after Christmas this past year, that I just felt this gentle nudge, and I believe that it was really God's nudge and saying, I still want you to do this, and you can do this. And to preach, to preside, to continue to live out my vocation, and one that I've loved and I still love. But I felt myself drifting away, and at a certain point I could just feel God's nudge saying, it'll be okay, it'll be okay. And when we came to the Feast of the Ascension, and I always think about Matthew's, the proclamation that we do on the Feast of the Ascension, when Jesus said to his friends, I'll be with you always, I'll be with you always. And that means that's very significant. I'll be with you always. And I believe that.
And that year, that 14 months, as you were saying, was almost like a retreat, it seems, or some kind of spiritual renewal, as well as just a time to regroup your own soul in ministry.
I think you're right. I think it was kind of a quasi-sabbatical, quasi-retreat. I think a time of enlightenment, and I think a time of purification.
Yes.
And I think to really, if you will, kind of reboot the system.
Sure.
And I think to reboot my own internal system, that we cannot just be like vending machines and just keep giving unless we somehow get refilled. And I think we all need to do that.
Yeah, and you
not just priests, but all of us.
Well, exactly, and certainly as a professor, we get a sabbatical year every 7 years. We are to take a year off from teaching so that we can reboot. And usually during the sabbatical year, faculty either write an extensive article or they write a book or something because they have an opportunity to gain some insight. So if this were kind of like a sabbatical year, like you said, and you were to write a book, what would the title of that book be? I know I'm putting you on the spot, Hurley, but what would the title of that book be?
The working title would be Tom 2.0, Renewing and Recharging to Continue the Journey.
Amen. To continue the journey. Well, we are truly, as I mentioned before, so grateful, Father Hurley, that you are part of the journey that we continue at the shrine. And so you've been part of this community in the pews, sitting for a year and 14 months, and now you're presiding. You're on the other side of the fence here, sharing with us. Have you observed anything, or is there any observation or any wish or any thing that you'd like to say to the community?
Yes. From the first moment I walked in here in a pair of khaki pants and a golf shirt, sitting in the back of the shrine, I immediately sensed and felt the warmth of this community and the welcome of this community. And I really appreciated that, because I believe that's what church is about. It's about warmth, it's about welcome. it is about hospitality. And so I really appreciated that. I appreciate the prayerfulness and the depth of faith of the people that come to this shrine. And likewise, too, I also appreciate the value and the intentionality that you and the other presiders have brought to Sunday liturgy and how important that is.
Yes.
And people are craving that. They desire that. They deserve it. And so I'm really flattered and honored that you would allow me and ask me, now that I'm back from the DL, back to playing on the field, if you will, that you would ask me and invite me to preside here, because it's a great honor. It's a wonderful community, and to be in this place of great history, and a place like Old St. Pat's that was built and founded on our ancestors from Ireland, and so to come to this shrine to be here in a place that still is so deeply, deeply and profoundly important to the Italian community. I reverence that. I really respect that in such a beautiful way.
As we say, be always welcome here at Hurley. In the next year or so, we will be announcing a capital campaign. We'll be renewing the interior of our shrine, God willing, and who knows what we will do with the school building next door, and all of the wonderful opportunities that we have to continue the culture, the Italian culture, the Italian heritage, and grateful to you for being part of this now, but also grateful to Old St. Pat's. Because Father Jack Wall, your predecessor as rector, as pastor of Old St. Pat's, he was the first rector here that got me involved and got this place on its feet so that we could be financially successful for 26 years and spiritually successful for all these years. And it was Father Jack Wall who taught me and also taught you how to do the kind of work we're both doing.
Yes.
And but so to thank Old St. Pat's as you continue your journey, and to thank you for the journey. And also the connection with Old St. Pat's has always been front and center of the Church of Old St. Pat's itself, because when we separated, when this shrine became an independent from Old St. Pat's, the Shrine of Our Lady of Pompeii gave St. Patrick his shamrock. So if any of you go to Old St. Pat's, you'll see the shamrock that St. Patrick has in his hand is carved in Italy by the Shrine of Our Lady of Pompeii in thanksgiving for the fact that Old St. Pat's held us, and we're so happy, Tom, that you're here, because now in your own way, in your own unique way, you hold this community as well in the beauty of your sabbatical year and your wisdom and your 2.0 upboot. So thank you. Blessings. And
Thank you.
Thank you all for being part of our shrine and its ministry. We look forward to celebrating with you for the Primo Mercoledì moment in August. Until then, blessings, and may the Mother of God continue to watch over us, even to the end of time. Amen.
Amen.